Hi Year 7 and 8. For your assembly this week, I've come to talk to you about your future career and what that might look like. Because we would like you to take some time this week to think about what your future might look like and to start thinking about the things that you could do now to help you to get into a career that you would love to aspire to do in 10 years' time. I know it seems like a long time away, but if you start thinking about it now, then you can make some decisions about what your future is going to look like and how you might get there. Before we start talking about other things this week, what I'd like to do is to really take time to say a huge thank you to the people who have worked in careers and in jobs that have been so incredibly important during lockdown and whilst we've been dealing with coronavirus. And we like to call these our crisis career heroes. So I'm sure that you'll be like me in wanting to thank the people doing jobs that get people and goods around and make sure that there's some food in our supermarkets. And if you've had an Amazon delivery, for example, over the last 3 months, people that have been working really hard to keep things clean and working so that the environment that we're in is safe and clean and that people can move around and still visit places like schools and still come to school and be admitted to hospital and go to the supermarket in a clean environment. So thanks to all those people. Thirdly, to the people who work in public services and are keeping those going, so things like bin men, people working for the council, people keeping our infrastructure going, people in schools, for example, that are still open, people that are keeping us fed. So maybe not the supermarkets, but further back in the chain in the supermarkets, the farmers still working, and the people going out on the fields and picking fruit and vegetables to make sure that we've still got a supply of food in our supermarkets. And last but not least, people that are looking after us. So people working for the NHS and working really incredibly hard in really tough conditions, people that are working in care homes and carers going out to people's houses, and people working in any kind of career at all that's looking after us and trying to keep us healthy and save lives of people who are poorly and have been affected by coronavirus. So a huge thank you from everybody to those people in those careers. And you might have been inspired over the last 3 months. Reading about people working in some of these careers might have inspired you to have a think about working in some of these careers yourself. So, back in March, which seems like a really long time ago now, I came to Careers Week Assembly in your assembly time and talked about what the future of work might look like. And if you remember back that far, we talked about things like technology changing, the fourth industrial revolution, and that lots of us might be doing jobs using technology and robotics and artificial intelligence, or working in jobs in digital media and computer science. We also talked about things like the green economy and jobs becoming low carbon because of the increased emphasis on environmental and social issues that we need to respond to within the world of work. We also talked about the global aspect of work and the fact that lots of jobs use people and are linked to places all over the planet. And so what we want to start talking about and thinking about this week is what your job might look like in the future of work. Do you want to work in a job involving technology? Do you want to work in a job with an environmental or social focus? Is that something that you're interested in? What's out there for us to do? And if we're thinking about in Greater Manchester, we talked about the fact that these are the jobs that we expect to see the biggest growth in Greater Manchester. So by the time that you guys get into the workplace, this might be what some of the people are doing in Greater Manchester, and a lot of people are doing. So working in IT and cybersecurity, health and social care, energy supplies, especially green energy and renewables, professional services, and industrial biotechnology. There'll still be all the other jobs that people do, but these are the sectors that we expect to see the biggest growth of jobs in. So if you're not sure about what those things mean, I challenge you to go out and find out what those are and see if you are inspired to think about whether you'd like to work in any of those careers. And the big message from me is to dream big and think big and have really big career ambitions about what you want to do. So we're going to get you this week in your passion project to think about jobs that you might never heard of before, all the jobs that are out there that link to something that you enjoy and you like, and to really go out there and be ambitious and be inspired about what you might want to do in your future. Now, some of you might already have an idea of what you'd like to do, but I think for a lot of you, you might not be sure. And so I've just put some ideas down for you for how you might choose a career path in your future. So I'd always say start by working out what you like and what you're interested in, and then use that to find out what jobs link to the things that you like to do and the subjects that you might be interested in school. And think about the skills that you like using as well, and skills that are important to you and that you've worked on developing. Then, once you've kind of looked at the industries that appeal to you, so if you were somebody who was really into science, have a look at what's out there in the STEM industry. If you're someone who's quite creative, look at the creative industries and see what jobs there are. And then use that to identify some jobs that you're more interested in, that you'd like to find more out about. And then go away and research what those jobs are and find out more about them. So for this week, your passion project is going to be to research and create a poster about an area of industry or a job that you aspire to work in the future. And we're going to put all these instructions in your year team for you so that you can have a read through and see what we'd like you to include. But like I said, we want you to be ambitious, we want you to be inspired, and just go out there and find out about some jobs that you'd be interested in working in. And then we'd like to see that back from you in your passion project in a poster. So you can tell us about jobs that you're interested in, where those jobs would be, what you might get paid in those jobs, what qualifications you might need, and then maybe you could include a picture of some famous people who do that job that inspire you to want to do it. How are you going to find that information out? We're going to signpost you to some websites that you'd be able to use. So if you click onto any of these websites that you can see on the screen and will be linked in your year team this week, you'll be able to find out about thousands and thousands of careers and jobs out there. And I'm guessing there's going to be lots that you might never have even heard of. So I want you to really go out there and look for things. Don't look for the things that you already know about. Look for jobs that you don't know about, but that tie in with things that you like to do. So you can use any of these websites, and these are really great and give you lots of information about what these jobs entail, and you can use them for your passion project. So this week, all the information that you'll need to create your careers-based task and passion project will be in your year team, and all that information signposting you to where you can find information out. But from me, have a think, start being inspired, look on the news, look on the internet, look at people that inspire you to work, and go out there and find out about what your future might look like. See you later.